Hello, traders. Welcome to our trading podcast. This is something new we are trying now, and I'm very excited. This is the first time, so it should be very special. I'm looking forward to have many more. The idea of this podcast is to deliver our followers, our viewers, our listeners, great trading content, trading ideas, if it's real-time trading opportunities, if it's educational material that could be helpful and beneficial to our viewers, if it's trading strategies and many more great subjects that we have in mind. Once in a while, I will host special guests in this podcast, and we will talk about the relevant subject to that moment. So today, this is the very first one. So excuse me if I am super excited. And I have a special guest here today, Yordan Kuzmanov. Yordan, hop on.
All right, should be able to see you now.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Petron. Guys, quick introduction. Yordan is a past TAC patron, one of the main faces and names behind the success of TAC. Many years we had an amazing run together. And Yordan, this is a great opportunity to say thank you for all these years. A guy that a lot of TAC members love to hear, love to follow, love to watch. A wizard when it comes to trading. So today, Yordan, and correct me if I'm wrong, today Yordan is a fully independent trader and involved in algorithmical trading, developing stuff, creating stuff, and becoming the next Warren Buffett.
Almost there.
Almost
just
there.
Missing a few billion in the bank account.
You know what Warren Buffett says about it, right? Patience. Some things take time.
Yeah.
You cannot produce a baby in 1 month by making 9 women pregnant. So
the other one is also good. It doesn't matter how many times you push the elevator button, it will not come quicker, right?
Totally. So good to have you here with us, Patronas. You are the first
Thanks
guest
for having me
in the first podcast, and Happy New Year.
You as well. Wishing you a much better 2022 and hopefully less COVID, more freedom.
Well, we are behind COVID. We already deal with that. So now we are supposed to be immune, super immune, right? Avengers.
I'm glad your guys healthy, but still, I mean, the whole social aspect of being locked down all the time, it's psychologically making people crazy. So I really hope we get past this period very quick.
I join the wishes. So how was, before we go to the charts and everything, how was your last quarter as a fully independent man?
The last quarter was actually pretty nice. Of course, thanks to the markets, because as you probably know already by all these years of trading, we don't really adapt or change that much when it comes to trading. We just follow the simple rules that we have, the methodologies. And once the market conditions are correct, we make money. The only thing is we should be able to stay above and continue growing when the bad period comes, right? Okay. So if we make more money during the drawdown periods, we lose some, then you continue growing, etc. So that being said, since September, it was all green until December. And this time the fault was mine, actually, because I knew I shouldn't be messing with these markets, yet I took 2 trades that put me into the red zone for December. But overall, thanks, it's good. It's going good.
Brilliant. And I totally agree with what you said. You in this business, it's not about who knows more or who draws better lines. It's simply about who can follow the devil is in the little details, right? So whoever can pay attention to these little details, and that's summed up in as you mentioned, and I agree. Do more when you are in a win period than you lose when you are in a lose period. You can't avoid a loss.
Okay.
It's like if you compare it to fighting, you can't avoid a punch here, a punch there, unless you're Khabib Nurmagomedov or this wizard Hamza Chimaev. But yeah, you will get some punches. Just make sure they don't knock you down, and that's
exactly. Exactly. So it's always about the long run. I mean, as cliche as it might sound, it's the long run.
True
That's
story.
what it counts.
True story. And you understand it as you run through this period, right? Because eventually, initially, it's like, who has the time for this journey? I want everything here and now. But eventually, time passes anyway, and you look backwards anyway. So you will have just two options: or look and regret, or look and be proud. So.
And you're always like, why didn't do it? I mean, it's already 5 years. Why didn't do it the conservative way, the slow way? I would have been much better at this point. And time goes by. And the fact is, once you have a child, because this is still a new thing for me, even though my kid is already 5, the time the child is born, your kid is born, it's like you're resetting the clock and you start counting from zero, right? And you see how fast time is actually passing by.
You know what they say, right? Minutes, they go slow. Hours last. They pass, and years fly.
Yeah. You blink, another year. Boom.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about more positive, more happy things rather than how we lose our ears now. The market, as you said, it's been an awesome period, and. Honestly, I personally find a lot of great opportunities for the coming, what's supposed to be quarter, maybe even more. But I wanted, if it's okay with you, of course, share your top 3 trading ideas, maybe?
Absolutely. I'm sure that we're going to overlap probably at some point, because after all, we come from the same school of trading and same methods.
That's true.
But let's see what I have, let's see what you have, and then we can compare notes.
All right. So I think the rights of share screen is yours now.
All right. Now you should be seeing it. You see it, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I did prepare a few things, and as per the theme of this podcast, I picked the top 3 that I'm following at the moment. They are pretty much in the midterm opportunity, I would say. Since we're doing the mood time frame analysis, we're going to pick on the higher time frames a bit, tell you where my idea, how the whole idea is starting to form, and then we're going to make our way through the lower time frames and the potential opportunities. So first on the list is cable, pound dollar. Let me just fire up the pen. And as we can see, this is the weekly chart, first of all, starting from the very high. Basically, what we can see is that we had all this move during the years, and then we got stuck from 2016, September, October, inside the range. So the way I'm looking at this thing is that we're currently ranging, and we have recently bounced from the top right here, creating this line a correct line now, and it actually becomes a line, right? Because otherwise we only have 2 spots here, but it's pretty much the top. So this is one swing for me, it's not 2 points. So once we get this push to the top, we actually managed to form this bearish pressure, namely the bearish divergence. And some might argue this is a double top, some might argue this is a tiny false break. It doesn't really matter because it doesn't change much. What we can see afterwards is that we're breaking the middle point of this divergence, which for us, you speak my language, I speak yours. For us, that means convergence, right? Which is the reversal. So after the reversal started, the structure in here is not very clear to me, and that makes sense because we're inside the range, and when you're inside the range, it's usually a mess. However, if we take this away from the equation, we have a direction, and this direction, at least for the shorter term periods, in my opinion, is supposed to be down as long as the levels right here are holding. So that's enough about weekly chart, I guess. Going down to the lower time frames, we can see that the price is trading inside this channel. We can see that the indicator is showing us we have plenty of volume right here, and this is the top of that zone, right? The most extreme zone. But as we move up, we can see that these levels are slowly increasing, which means the volume right here is also good enough, at least in my opinion. And all this suddenly becomes a very interesting zone for me. So now we have bearish trend, right? The price is going lower. Now we have a channel, or the two boundaries, the extremes of where this price is moving, and we're currently at the top. We're very easily going to confirm this with the indicator here, as I mentioned. And all that comes down to these levels right here. So now what we can do, of course, is we start thinking about possible sell opportunities. In other words, as long as this level holds, we want to see the price bouncing. If we get a breakout and the price starts breaking above these highs, right, and we go through these levels in here, then I'm going to start considering possible buy opportunities. However, the buys are a bit trickier here because, just a second, we have two reasons for that actually. First of all, we can see where the previous swing high is. And by swing high, I mean the highs which are coming down here, right? So before we actually clean that zone, it's still coming as a correction. That could be range, that could be anything, but it's still below this, right? And then it's still inside this level. So a possible breakout is a potential buy opportunity, but it becomes much more trickier than the sell opportunity which we have at the moment. So this is why I'm currently considering only the sell part. And if we break, then it will require the necessity to reanalyze it, right? We cannot guess what's going to happen, how the price is going to come here, and what the price action will look like.
Totally agree.
So now going down to the 4-hour chart, this is a massive bearish pressure, the way I see it, which means we have all these divergences, all these false breaks. The price is trying to go down. It never achieves that goal. And now we have this very beautiful swing low. As I said, multiple divergences, multiple false breaks. So for me, the idea becomes very, very clear. Once and if we go ahead and break below this zone, sorry, this level, that's what, 35.30 approximately. And during this period of the breakout, if the price starts creating the impulsive structure that we're looking for, which is actually suggesting, all right, we're looking at a possible continuation lower, I think that becomes a very nice opportunity for sales here. So
would you go aggressive and sell already some portion?
No. I wouldn't, and the reason is because of the daily chart. I mean, look where we have these levels and the swing high.
Right.
That gives us plus minus 150 up to 200, maybe 300 pips. And you know what they do, right? Usually, I mean, let's take a look at this thing from that perspective.
Absolutely, you're right.
This is where we're at the moment, okay? Somewhere around this point. Push down. We can't really say this is ABC kind of trend line, right? Because we never broke this low, but this is a swing high. So if you're looking for this to continue lower somehow, and you're using this as a dynamic resistance, boom, they create a false break.
Exactly. It's the pound. It's false breakout on the pound. It's like it's the second nature.
Exactly. So it's usually going for the false breaks, and this is why I have these zones over here, because I definitely expect and anticipate a possibility of a false break. It could start now, it could go up, I don't know, but I have all these scenarios prepared and I'm ready for all of them. Whichever happens, if I can find an entry, I'm going to take it.
It's funny you mentioned the pound dollar as the first pair on your top list, because I have the pound dollar exactly the same scenario.
One out of one overlap.
Which is not surprising. Again, we speak the same language, so I absolutely agree with you. I love this analysis. I love this opportunity. And moreover, I totally agree with you that jumping in, because the divergence now and the false breakout as day 4 on the 4-hour chart, let's admit it, it looks very tempting, right?
It does, and the levels, the channel that we have looks perfect, but we know from history that it usually doesn't end well.
You know, when you're a kid, your parents always tell you, don't get a treat from a stranger. That could be it. That could be this treat from a stranger.
I guess you can see it this way, yeah.
All right, absolutely beautiful. Anything else?
Yeah, moving on to the next one, as we're getting pressured by the time. I'll try to increase the pace a bit, but again, I assume that not everyone speaks our language, so let's be as thorough as possible and leave as little questions on the table as possible.
It's also a great opportunity to say, guys, all those of you who watch that and have any questions to Yordan or to myself, feel free to leave your question in the comment section. This video will be uploaded for you. Feel free to share in the comment section or contact us directly, and we would be more than happy as always to assist. I'm available in Traders Academy Club, Yordan available in his channels. We are there for you.
All right, so the next one is euro dollar, and again here, if we take a look at the bigger picture on weekly chart, I mean, euro dollar, pound dollar, of course we have some kind of positive correlation which runs through the years. This is a fact, and we can expect to see pretty much the same thing. However, at this one, for this specific pair, we can see that the same structure took place, but since we're in a contracting pattern, the price is already moving more than half to the downside, right? If we can split it approximately like this. So let's say we're a step further in the same idea. And in my opinion, we still have another push to the downside to be delivered here. So first of all, when we drop to the daily chart, we can see that we had this massive breakout, and I totally love that. Now, for those of you who are using FX Delta software, you're going to recognize this immediately.
Oh yeah, I was going to mention it's classical delta.
Classical delta pattern. We have the price action confirming. What we don't have is for the price to go ahead and test the zone. So my expectation, if I zoom out a bit, we can very clearly see massive move, and then we have a consolidation. So this consolidation, even without any further analysis, is simply telling us we're likely going to continue lower. And one more thing I would like to bring to the attention of the viewers at the moment is that for those of you who don't know, euro dollar and dollar franc are usually very strongly have negative correlation, strong negative correlation, meaning if euro dollar is going down, dollar franc is supposed to go up, right? Like mirrors. Now look what euro dollar is doing in terms of flat move here. And then if we go to dollar franc, look what's happening during all that period. This negative correlation is actually moving towards the zero line at the moment, and we have tools where we can see that. TradingView, for example, has the correlation. If you don't have it, you can check it there. And this is yet another confirmation that we are likely going to see a very interesting move from euro dollar very soon, because now we have the correlation, now we have the technicals, everything starts to look absolutely fantastic. And my idea here is, well, for me, it's simple. For those of you who will not be able to follow it, please ask questions, but let me anyways give you what I have here. So this is a consolidation pattern, which, if broken, it means we're going to be trading breakout trades, right? Now, there are two more scenarios, and probably this is why it becomes confusing, because the breakout is pretty clear. But if we go ahead and start doing that, there is still the chance to go here, create a false break for ABC, which I don't think it's likely to happen, but still I'm following it as a possibility. And then we have the possibility where this thing goes and starts trading in a channel. Again, I also don't believe this is going to happen because the move up until this point is somehow being pressured. So if it pops to the upside, I would expect for the price to go towards this level and retest it. But again, just to summarize it and make it a bit more simpler, while the price remains below this zone, so basically from current market price up to here, where we have the possibility of this corrective structure to complete itself, my expectation is that we're going down. All right, so this is pretty much
absolutely brilliant. You covered it from all the angles, and I completely agree with you. You reminded me the euro dollar franc, the negative and the mirror, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember this cartoon? I forgot how it's called. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the prettiest of them all? And absolutely brilliant. And you know what? It all connects. If we have a look on the fundamental aspect, it all connects with the recent Fed monetary policy, where they announced that there is a very serious possibility of hiking the rates earlier than initially planned.
Anticipated, yeah.
Anticipated, and yeah, if the market really chooses this direction, which technically looks like it should, I totally agree with you. Euro could be absolutely brilliant opportunity. It has room. It has room to go.
It has. You know, I'm not a fundamental trader.
Yeah.
I very rarely follow anything, if at all, when it comes to the economical part of it and the fundamental part of it. Since this opportunity could be seen as something a bit more longer term, and it would require maybe a few weeks or a month, I guess you can even look into the fundamentals. That's perfectly fine. And for those of us who understand it, great, another confirmation.
Right. Just an idea to see where the wind blows, right? That's
exactly. But as you said, I mean, when we're looking at these things, yes, they do appear very rarely. But once it happens, we gotta be there. And if we stick to these amazing opportunities, and once you become a bit more advanced trader, you're probably going to start looking at slightly lower timeframes, which is also fine. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to be trading once in a while and have more free time. Also fine. But if you're patient enough to attack these conservative, as we call them, opportunities where almost everything fits together, chances are your win ratio skyrockets.
Very true. Brilliant.
Here, the third one.
Let me guess, it has to do with another dollar?
Yep.
Which one you have? Oh, Aussie dollar. Awesome.
Now, for Aussie dollar, the situation, at least for me, is slightly tricky. And it was tricky during all this time that I was following it, probably up until here somewhere. But what's interesting for me is that I was actually expecting for this thing to become an impulse right here and then continue higher. Now, this could still happen because we have the impulse being completed. This is probably weekly or monthly chart, depending on how you want to look at it. But then look what's happening. We only managed to get two waves.
Zigzag.
So this zigzag has a lot of potential to create something like this, then up, I don't know. But we never managed to get this to turn bullish, right? I mean, with the impulsive structure of bullishness, the zigzag would also provide another wave up, but this is a different story slightly, because then we're dealing with a range, right? Which is not my favorite thing. Anyhow, so as we got the breakout of this ABC, price started pushing lower, and then look what we have here. We have a structure, impulsive structure, at least the way I see it, on the weekly chart, and this is where we can step one step closer on the lower time frames and start breaking down this very last wave right here. So once we zoom in on this whole situation and we assume that this is the fifth wave, in my opinion, what we're getting at the moment is first, second, third, fourth, and now I'm expecting to see fifth leg here. So if that's the case, then we have another delta that supports it. This is now daily chart. And this is where we can zoom in a bit and we can see that this bullish move to the upside is finishing with two waves, which kind of confirms everything that was set up until this moment, right? Mm-hmm. We're not starting to create any funny business here that could be planting the seed of doubt in our heads. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful double wave. It's a breakout. And if we drop to the 4-hour chart, we can see that on the initial push to the downside where the divergences occurred and we got this amazing level, we got a breakout right here. And not just we got the breakout, we got the price to push significantly to the downside. Then usually you know what happens when we have a reversal, the optimism for the ongoing direction is still there. So there are plenty of people buying, but the reality is that was the last wave. So now we're holding the swing. And this is how we actually form the opinion of a trend, right? The price starts making lower lows or higher highs. This is the ABC of trading. So we get this optimistic push up, we get the trend line to be respected, but at the end of the day, we get a breakout. So now we start to look at this stepping structure. Now we're actually making lower lows, lower highs. Now we're positioned below this zone. Now we have a convergence. Now we have the big expectation from the higher time frames that this is supposed to be leg number 5. And pretty much as long as the price is holding below this zone right here, I do believe that we should be looking at continuation to the downside. Now, a bit more fine tuning we can explain here. Since we got the breakout, usually what happens for those of you who are trading breakout setups, of course, you probably know, guys, that we're going and testing these breakout levels, right? So we can see that there is no divergence on the MAs, which is a fantastic confirmation that we're probably going to see another low, meaning the price breaking below this zone. And when we talk about that, we can say, all right, let's look at the structure and where is the potential sell opportunity. For me personally, that means going even to the 1-hour chart to show it a bit better. We're looking at this ABC, we're looking at a push down, but still no break below. So my expectation and my hope actually is that this is going to turn into a larger structure that will go to this level. Once we go to this level, most likely closer to the trend line, most likely and hopefully, if those points are respected and the Fibos remain as they are, we have the 100% and look at it. Without any indicators, without anything, we can see where the price action is. It's right here. So basically, we want to see the price testing this zone. Once we get there, now this one, I would attack a bit more aggressively without any further confirmations, without any breakouts. This one, I would attack right here if we get to this point with a protection above the swing. Why? Because then the risk reward ratio, if we're looking at approximately 60 pips, look where the swing is. So this makes sense, but now I have weekly, daily, 4-hour convergences. All of it comes together so I can expose myself a bit more aggressively to this specific opportunity.
Absolutely love it. Would you consider the current consolidation, lower highs, lower lower highs, higher lows, as a potential breakout? Yeah, like a mini range. You can see it on a 1-hour chart.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, the current lower highs, the little ones, lower highs.
Lower
Highs
and
okay. Higher lows. Yep. would you consider that as a consolidation and a break to the downside as a signal?
Ah, you mean something like this?
Yeah.
No.
Would you like to explain to the listeners why not?
First of all, if we're looking at the triangular structure should appear. This is actually a perfect example. Look at that. You have the move, and then look where this triangular structure is forming, right? Right after this amazing move, and then you have breakout and new low form. In here, now again, this is 1 hour chart. We already got on the 1 hour chart a reversal pattern, which for the lower time frame, of course, when we're looking at this pullback to happen, what I am expecting to happen, this is a very micro bullish trend on H1, right? So that gives me the confirmation that we're probably looking at deeper correction, exactly. And furthermore, if we take a look at the 1 hour chart specifically, you have the reversal, you have the hidden divergence. And we never got anything to confirm the end of this move. So even if it moves lower, this is not the way I'm going to look for entries.
It might be scalpable, but not like to ride the bigger opportunity.
Not even scalpable, no. I mean, if it breaks and it continues lower and we take this swing low, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to miss this move, okay? I don't care about that. But then I'm going to go back to the 4 hour chart, and now I will start looking, once we have a swing, where do we stand on this move right here?
Right.
And I'm going to try to find another pullback and continuation. Why? Because if and once we break this, then we're looking at potential divergences.
Right.
That means, again, we're looking at the pullback. So basically, we want to position ourselves in the pullback, right? Especially if you're looking at fourth wave already, which is near the end of the expected move.
Sometimes the best thing is to sacrifice your snack time and enjoy a bigger dinner, right?
Yeah, well put.
So that's the case. It's as tempting as it is. This move might be very serious trap, and yeah, it makes much more sense to sacrifice this one.
Usually is.
Enjoy the bigger one on the next setup. Totally agree with you.
Now, before we move on, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but before we move on, let me spoil everyone watching this thing and give you one bonus thing, if it's fine with you.
We love bonuses. Cheers for that.
Cheers for that. Euro pound. Now, this thing was and still is on my list for quite some time. And I mean, just look at it.
When you say quite of time, you mean like last 2 years, right?
No, probably from here somewhere. That was 21 August. But in our time frames, this is a million years, right?
Yes.
So guys, please consider it, because look where the euro pound is headed.
Absolutely.
Okay, and this is speaking for itself. This is bullish divergence. Of course, this is inside the range, so you might argue that this is a divergence and it's tradable, but this is definitely bullish pressure. And one thing we know for almost certainty is that when these levels are approached, usually there is a good reaction. The only way for this thing to be broken in a massive push to the downside is if there will be some interesting fundamental news outcome. But if that happens, then you're not going to get a setup to attack here. So by all means, I'm not saying just put yourself a pending order here, right? No, go to the lower time frames, look for the reversal patterns, attack it. So yeah, that definitely, this thing is going to provide some interesting opportunities, and it's actually coming to the very, very, very low end. And I totally love it. I mean, look at it. We're just 70, 80 pips away from the actual extreme point.
Absolutely love it.
So yeah, that's in terms of the bonus.
Who doesn't like bonuses, especially when there are such bonuses, right?
Yep.
Brilliant. I absolutely, I'm smiling because At some level, it's like listening to myself or my brain trying to tell me what to trade. I love it. I love it. Thanks a lot for taking the time to share, Jordan.
Absolutely, pleasure.
I am sure the listeners and the viewers would love that. I personally totally agree with that. It's amazing opportunities. I can't even point them in like 1, 2, 3, 4 because they all have an amazing potential.
Well, you said bring your best, right? So I'm bringing my best.
And you certainly did. Quick one, if you don't mind. I'm sure many viewers here would be those who watch you for the first time, hear you for the first time. For those who want to follow your work, and for those who want to learn more from you, enjoy more from the content you offer, where can they follow you?
Well, since I left TIC, I started my own kind of a shop where I'm more or less preaching the same things that I'm doing every single day. The website is called traders-terminal.com.
I'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, the link will be below in case I'm giving you some nonsense information at the moment. But pretty much you can take it from there. I mean, I'm not really active on the social media. I'm more focused on, as you said in the beginning, algorithmic trading at the moment, developing all these things which have a lot of potential, still in testing phases, of course, but I'm doing my manual trading because this is still the main source, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're guys interested in this kind of analysis and if you love this kind of trading style, feel free to ping me. You can get the email from there and I'm sure we're going to have fun.
Brilliant, Jordan. Thank you once again. I'm really thrilled doing that. To be honest, it's a great experience. It's the first one. Having you as the first guest, it's also very special. It's after all our great history. I'm sure the viewers and the listeners will benefit and enjoy these opportunities as well. And on this opportunity, I would like to wish you and everyone who watched this a fantastic year ahead. As you said at the beginning, let's hope 2022 would be a top year. It's a tiger year. It's supposed to be serious stuff, right? The serious tiger style year. So
well,
yeah, less lockdowns, more opportunities in the market. Let's have a good one.
Thank you. Definitely thank you for having me. It's honored to be the first guest in your new, hopefully a big hit of podcast shows.
Thank you very much.
It will be a pleasure to be here again. I guess I just invited myself for another episode.
That's the way to do it.
I mean, for those of you guys who don't know the history between us here is that, I mean, I don't know how many years is that, 6, 7, 8 years?
About 8 years, yeah.
You know how it goes with the dates and when was my wedding. We're gonna leave it for another time. What I'm trying to say is that this was happening pretty much on daily basis when I was at TAC, and we would just open the platforms, Skype, share screen, and we're going over these charts. And did you see that? Yeah, but did you miss that? Yeah. It was back and forth like playing ping pong.
How many times did we say, did you see that? Yes. And did you miss it? Yes.
Daily basis. Yeah, so it was definitely fun kind of reminding these old days.
Indeed, the old good days. I absolutely enjoy it. I really love that. And once again, thank you for taking the time. And you
Thanks
are more than invited in our future shots. Let's see how this one goes. Let's see the reactions. Guys, this is also a request from you, the viewers. If you like this sort of podcasts, or if you have any ideas how to improve for future, please take 20 seconds of your time, drop some feedback in the comment section. Your help is very much important for me, the team, Jordan, and the other guests who will be here. So please share your thoughts. We are doing it for you. Besides for us having fun, we are also we want our viewers and our listeners to benefit from it. So thank you for your time, or everybody who listens, who watch. We both hope that this is delivering some good help and good trading ideas to you. I would like to once again to wish a fantastic trading year to everyone. And I'm very happy to say this is the end of our first podcast. Yordan, best to you and yours. Please say hi to family.
Thank you. Will do. You as well.
And I hope to see you with us very soon again.
I'm waiting for the invite.
I'll share the link once it's up. Okay.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.